Hello everyone, welcome back to the Global Conflict News channel. Please subscribe my channel because today we are going to dive deep into one of the most dramatic turning points in this war, a moment that shocked not only Russia but the entire world, as Ukrainian drones turned Moscow into a firestorm, igniting debates, fears, and analysis about the future of modern warfare. The story begins with the sudden roar of sirens in Moscow, a city long considered untouchable, shielded by the pride of Russia's military defenses, yet pierced by small, buzzing machines that carried with them not only explosives but also the weight of symbolism, a message that even the capital of a nuclear power is not beyond reach. People rushed into shelters, emergency lights flickered across the skyline, smoke rose over wealthy neighborhoods, and a panic that had never before been experienced at this scale spread like wildfire through the Russian heartland. This is more than just a strike, it is a review of what these drones represent in terms of design, capability, effectiveness, and their place in the psychology of 21st century warfare. When we look at the exterior of these drones, what strikes us immediately is their simplicity and efficiency. Unlike traditional fighter jets or large-scale bombers that depend on heavy armor, expensive stealth technology, and massive engines, these drones carry an exterior that is small, aerodynamic, and designed purely for function. Most of them are constructed from composite materials or even improvised bodies, shaped to avoid radar detection and optimized for distance rather than brute force. Some are the size of a small suitcase with wings, others resemble oversized hobbyist drones, yet all share the same defining characteristic: minimalistic design with maximal impact. Their exterior shows the evolution of warfare: clean lines, portable bodies, camouflaged coloring, and even in some cases, cheap commercial parts repurposed for war. Unlike tanks or planes that carry visual weight, the drone's exterior is almost deceptive, whispering stealth rather than roaring power, making it a perfect weapon for asymmetric conflict where David aims at Goliath with precision. The interior, though far more compact, carries the essence of modern improvisation. Inside these drones are navigation systems that combine GPS, inertial measurement units, and sometimes visual guidance that allows them to adapt even if jammed. Tiny warheads are fitted carefully, often improvised with explosives but still devastating when targeted at civilian infrastructure or military command centers. The batteries or fuel systems are tightly packed, the circuitry often protected against light electronic countermeasures, and in some advanced Ukrainian models, there is even satellite communication that ensures the drone can adjust its course mid-flight. What makes the interior remarkable is its combination of small space and deadly purpose. It is not about luxury or comfort, but about delivering function in the smallest possible frame. The design philosophy is to keep everything lean, precise, and capable of fulfilling a singular deadly mission. In terms of performance, the results in Moscow spoke louder than any review could. These drones traveled hundreds of kilometers, penetrating Russian air defenses, bypassing radar detection, and striking targets in a city that was once deemed impregnable. Their speed is not comparable to missiles, but they are fast enough to complicate interception while remaining slow enough to maneuver through complex environments. Some models can cruise for several hours, covering ranges up to 1,000 kilometers, a feat unimaginable for traditional artillery. Performance is not just about range or speed, but about efficiency, persistence, and accuracy. These drones turned Moscow's skyline into a scene of chaos because they could deliver a precise blow with minimal cost. Where Russia spends millions on air defense systems, Ukraine spends a fraction producing a drone that still finds its way past. This ratio of cost to damage is perhaps the greatest testament to their performance. A single drone can tie down multiple air defense units, force the firing of expensive missiles, and still succeed in reaching its target. That is performance measured not only in physical terms but in strategic and psychological ones. Safety features in such machines might sound paradoxical, yet they exist, though not in the way we imagine in civilian technology. For drones, safety is about ensuring they reach their targets reliably without interception, self-destructing if necessary to avoid being captured, or minimizing radar signatures to reduce detection. Some Ukrainian drones are designed to fly low, hugging the terrain to remain undetected, using algorithms to avoid obstacles and maintain stable flight in adverse weather. Others incorporate redundancy in navigation systems, so if one guiding mechanism fails due to Russian jamming, another takes over. In this sense, safety is about mission assurance, about guaranteeing that the machine survives long enough to deliver its payload. Unlike aircraft designed to protect a pilot, drones do not need to worry about human life inside. Their safety features are entirely focused on the effectiveness of their deadly journey. That very design makes them expendable, but also terrifying, because their loss carries no human tragedy for the operator, only financial cost, which is often negligible compared to the destruction inflicted. Unique selling points of these drones are clearer than ever after the Moscow attack. The first unique feature is cost-effectiveness. With a relatively low investment, Ukraine is able to generate an outsized impact, striking fear and forcing Russia to spread its defenses thin. The second selling point is stealth and unpredictability. Unlike large-scale missiles or aircraft, drones are hard to track, easy to disperse, and can come from multiple directions, saturating defenses. The third is psychological power. The sight of explosions in Moscow, far from the front line, erodes the sense of safety Russians once felt and brings the war to the very doorstep of the elite. Another selling point is flexibility. These drones can be used against military command centers, logistical hubs, fuel depots, or symbolic civilian targets, all while being adaptable in design to carry different payloads. Finally, the uniqueness lies in their symbolic defiance. They represent a smaller nation leveraging innovation against a giant, embodying the story of asymmetric warfare where brains outwit brawn. The price of these drones is not just in monetary terms but also in the broader scale of warfare economics. Each drone can cost anywhere between a few $1,000s to perhaps tens of thousands depending on sophistication, but this price is laughably small compared to the billions Russia has poured into defense systems. A single Russian S-400 missile costs millions. A Ukrainian drone may cost less than a car, yet forces the launch of such a missile. The price also includes the invisible cost of fear, disruption, and political embarrassment. For Ukraine, the low price is a strategic advantage. They can mass-produce and launch swarms, each one multiplying the difficulty for Russian defenses. For Russia, the cost is higher, not just financially but reputationally, as each successful strike shows the cracks in its protective shield. Thus, price is more than numbers, it is the imbalance of resources turned into a weapon itself. In conclusion, the drones that turned Moscow into a firestorm are not just machines of war, they are symbols of how warfare has changed forever. They show that power is no longer only in massive armies or fleets of tanks and jets, but also in small, smart, and scalable devices that deliver shock and awe at a fraction of the cost. The exterior speaks of stealth and efficiency, the interior of compact but deadly engineering, the performance of adaptability and reach, the safety features of mission reliability, the unique selling points of cost-effectiveness and psychological power, the price of affordability and asymmetry. Together, they create a new reality where even the most fortified capitals can burn under the weight of buzzing wings and tiny engines. For Russia, this is a nightmare; for Ukraine, a lifeline; for the world, a warning of how fragile the illusion of security truly is. As we look to the future, one truth remains: the firestorm in Moscow will be remembered not just as a strike, but as the moment drones proved themselves as the defining weapons of a new era of conflict, forever altering the balance between offense and defense, between cost and destruction, between fear and control.